Anywhere you go, anywhere you go, give it all. Hello everyone, this is Providencia. Welcome to my channel. I am here to do a come cook with me video. I am gonna be making some pork chop stewed the Spanish way, which is chuletas guisada, white rice, sweet plantains, some nice white beans with some potatoes, peas and carrots, and some salad. It's a simple salad, but anyway, you're gonna see it in this video. Please know that this is a come cook with me video. I'm gonna give you ingredients, but I'm not gonna go into specific measurements. If you watched my videos in the past, then you will know that these come cook with me videos, I never go into details with ingredients because it's just me cooking and recording. But I do hope that you grab an idea or two. You know, everybody cooks the same, well, in the Spanish community, but we always do something different. Maybe I'm doing something different that you don't do, and maybe, you know, you can learn a thing or two of how I cook and what I add and so forth. If you're watching for the first time, please take a moment to browse through my channel, see if you like it, and subscribe. For all of my old subscribers, thank you for still sticking around. And for my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Yes. I also want to tell you guys thank you for all the love that I get on this channel, all the likes, or the dislikes. That's right. I get them dislikes and I be like, why? Oh my goodness. Anyways, thank you for all the love and for all the positivity that you bring into my life. With that being said, let's start this video. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and if you're watching this from start to finish, I just want to let you know this is a long video. Drink some tea, drink some coffee, or watch this in the nighttime when you're done and over with your day, so you could just watch it, relax, and yeah, because it's a long video. But anyway, let's go. So here I have 2 packs of pork chops. They're thin sliced. I made 2 packs because I have a big family and sometimes my kids, they be eating twice. You're gonna want to clean these pork chops very, very, very good, okay? I always wash my hands when I'm cleaning meat. Please do that because it's very important. Also, you're gonna wanna clean your meat with vinegar. If you don't have vinegar, then use lemon, lime, or if you got the bottle of lemon juice, you could also clean your meat with that. And yeah, repeat this process at least 2 or 3 times. So I left my pork chops with some water and vinegar, and I am gonna cut my peppers, my onions, and all that good stuff. Now, you work with whatever pepper that you have on hand. So I have a red pepper, a green pepper. I also have an onion, and you can't quite see it, but I have a lemon. Also make sure that you clean all of your vegetables. I am gonna cut my peppers and my onions into strips. I'm gonna cut my lemon in half. If you do not have lemon, then you could use a lime. I already washed my cilantro off camera and I'm just putting it there, so when it's time to season the meat, I got everything nice and ready. Back to the meat. I'm gonna rinse out all the vinegar and all that good stuff and wash it a few times. Now, I know nobody probably want to see this part, but it's just very important for you guys to know that I'm always cleaning my kitchen all the time, not just when I do a video. I'm always on top of my kitchen when I'm doing any food recipes or anything for my kids, and that's very important that you do the same too. Always keep your area and your kitchen very, very clean. Like, come on, you're cooking. It's only common to have your kitchen clean as you cook. So to season my pork chops, I am going to add some adobo. That's the one with the blue top. Whatever adobo you have on hand. Please make sure that you do not add a lot of adobo. Adobo can be salty. And also know that I'm making 2 packs of pork chops. You could always add more later on. I'm gonna add oregano. Black pepper. Ground turmeric. I love adding ground turmeric to my food. It's very good for inflammation. In case you're watching for the first time, I have fibromyalgia and it just helps me. I like turmeric. Onion powder. I'm gonna use this product. It's from Badia and it's just a yellow coloring for your food in case you want to give it a nice beautiful color. You can add sazon, but I didn't want to add sazon, and yeah, I just didn't want to add sazon since I already added the adobo. So yeah, that's why I added that. That has no salt in it. So in this step, you're gonna see me re-adding everything all over again since this is 2 packs of meat. The only thing I didn't add twice was the adobo because, like I said, adobo could be salty and you could always add some later on to the sauce. Okay, so this is leftover ajo, aka garlic sauce, from some plantains that I made the day before. And I didn't want to let it go to waste, so I added the garlic sauce in there. I'm going to add some sofrito. And I'm going to mix this up with my hands. Please note that my counter is right next to the sink, so I'm always washing my hands. Once you mix it all up, add all of your vegetables. I'm going to take a half a lemon and squeeze the juice in there as well. And yeah, I was gonna edit that part out, but this is real life. I know this has happened to a lot of people where they forget to take out the sticker from their vegetables. As you can see, it happened to me. Mix it well with your clean hands. Now the other half a lime, just reserve it. We're going to use that later on. So the meat is nice and seasoned. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and I'm going to start doing the rice. It will be best if you do this 3 or 4 hours in advance for it to marinate very well. I didn't get to do that. I was doing a lot that day, but just keep that in mind. So in my rice pot, I added some water and I'm going to add some salt and wait for it to boil. While I'm waiting for the water to boil, I'm going to start cutting what I need for my beans. You could use any pepper that you have. I'm going to use this orange one. Also, I have some cilantro. Make sure you clean your cilantro. I'm going to use a half of an onion. And I'm going to peel 1 potato. Now you could cut it any size that you want, depending on how big is your potato. So yeah, just cut it whichever way you want. But it would be best if you don't do it not too big, but not too small either, you know. And I'm gonna put it in a plate and head to the stove. Time to make the beans. I'm gonna add a little bit of corn oil. I am gonna use this product here. It's by Knorr's, Calabaza y Jamón, which is pumpkin and ham. I usually go and put it in a mason jar, and I like to cut, you know, like the front of the box that it comes in it, for that way I can know that's what it is. It's Calabaza y Jamón. Alright, and it's very, very good. Highly recommend that you buy this. I know that it's very hard to find. Maybe you could order it online, because they do have it online. But if you find this in your supermarket, definitely buy it. Take a screenshot. Trust me, you won't regret it. However, there's options. You could buy the powdered ham by Goya. Or you could just use the chicken powder one. These are just options in case you can't find the Knorr ones that I was just telling you about, which is the pumpkin y jamón. So to my beans, I am going to add some sofrito. Next, I'm going to add the calabaza y jamón by Knorr's. I like to add half, and if I feel like it needs a little bit more later on, I'll add a little bit more. Add it little by little. You don't want your beans to be salty. From there, I'm gonna add my pepper, onions, and cilantro. Also make sure that you have this on very low. I am making small white beans, so I am not going to add no tomato sauce. I don't want my beans to be like that nice reddish color, so that's why I'm not going to use no tomato sauce. The calabaza from the Knorr's gives it a nice color. You could also add fresh calabaza if you find it in your supermarket to give it that nice, beautiful color. Make sure that you mix everything up very well. Even though we put some fresh onions in there, I'm still going to add some onion powder, oregano, any oregano that you have on hand, garlic powder, and I'm going to use white pepper. Now, if you have black pepper, that's fine, use it, but I'm going to add white pepper. Also, I'm going to add turmeric to add just a little bit of color, but also I like turmeric because it has a lot of health benefits on my end, and yeah, that's why I'm adding it. Mix this up very well. Then make sure that you let this simmer for about 2-3 minutes. Make sure it's on low heat as well. Once the 2-3 minutes is up, add 2 cans of water. That's why I do not like to throw away the can until I'm like completely finished, because I like to add my water, and that's how I measure. Last, you're going to want to add your potatoes. And from this point, make sure you have it piping hot. Put it all the way high as you can. You're going to want to check up on it from time to time and make sure that it's getting thick. Now back to the meat. I got a big pot here. I'm going to add some corn oil. Make sure that your pot is on high heat. Trust me, you're going to want to do this. Also, I have some brown sugar. I'm going to add some brown sugar to the oil. I know that's weird, but that's how a lot of Dominicans brown their meat. So yeah, do this. Trust me, it's not gonna be sweet or nothing like that. It's not gonna make the meat sweet or none of that. It's just gonna brown it beautifully. You're gonna wait until that brown sugar is very dark. Okay? Yes, I know it doesn't make any sense, but yes, it's gonna look a little burnt, but that's what you want.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Once you see it more or less that color, it's time to throw in your meat. Make sure you throw in your meat and not the vegetables. I'm not gonna add the water or the vegetable just yet. Still leave this on high heat for a few minutes. More or less, I'm gonna be honest with you, like at least 5 to 10 minutes with the top on. Back to the rice. The water is boiling, so it's now time to add my rice. Look at my beautiful cup. Oh my goodness. My older sister gave me this cup and I love it. But back to the rice. So I'm gonna add my rice, and yeah, I know how to do this just eyeballing this. If I feel like it's too much water, I take out water. If I feel it needs more water, I add more water. It's like, it is what it is. One day I'll make a full tutorial on my rice using the correct measurements. But yeah, I eyeball this. I already know more or less how much water to add, how much rice, and all that good stuff. So yeah. Also, you're going to want to do the spoon trick. Make sure your spoon is standing up. And then you got the perfect amount of rice and water. Make sure you taste the water to see if maybe you need to add a little bit of salt. If you don't need to add a little bit more salt, add your oil. Make sure this is on high, for that way your rice could start drying out. Let's go check up on the meat. As you can see, there's water in there because, it's going to release its own juice as well. Trying to mix this up as best as you can. And this is what I mean. The sugar gives it a nice color. Make sure you mix the pork chops around. I'm going to add a half can of tomato sauce. And I'm also going to add some water. Mix it all up. Add the marinade and add at least half of the vegetables for the pork chops. Reserve the other half. Make sure this is still on high heat. The water already dried out, but I'm gonna leave it there like at least a minute or two just to make sure I get that good pegao towards the very end. In the meantime, I am gonna open up my cans of vegetables. Yeah, I know it's from a can. Big deal. I didn't have no fresh vegetables, so can it is. And I have another pot in the back for that way I could add my peas and my carrots in there. Okay, back to the rice. I know we're all over the place, but this is real life. This is how I'm cooking that day, so yeah. Now I'm gonna go and put all of my rice in the center. Sort of like a volcano. You know what I mean? Right in the middle, because you don't want the sticky rice, the pegao, the kongkong, whichever way you want to say it, to be on the side of your rice. No, you don't want that. Put aluminum foil, cover, and put it on very, very low. I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar to my carrots and my peas just to give it a little sweet taste, and a little bit of salt. Now, if you don't have no brown sugar, you definitely could use a little bit of honey. I didn't have no honey, so that's why I added brown sugar. I'm checking up on the beans, and it's still not thick enough for me, so I'm going to still leave it on high heat until I get the right consistency. I'm checking up on my pork chop stewed. You're going to want to leave this on for at least a good 30 to 40 minutes. You want your pork chops nice and soft, not chewy, and all that good stuff. I am also going to taste it to see if maybe it needs a little bit more salt, a little bit more seasoning, and yeah. Now we're going to add the rest of the vegetables that we reserved. Remember, during this whole time, you're going to want to make sure that it's on high heat. It will evaporate a lot. It's going to get a little thicker, but that's what you want. Let's check up on the beans. It's starting to have a nice consistency. I'm going to taste it. I really felt like it needed a little bit more of the bouillon that you saw me adding earlier. I'm going to add a little bit in a minute, but first I'm going to remove all of the onions, pepper, and the cilantro. The flavor is already in the beans. We don't need it there anymore. So you're going to want to do that if you make these beans. The flavor is already in the beans, so don't worry about it. Remove it all out. You want some nice, clean beans. Try to pluck out as much as you can. Of course, you know there's always going to be a little small onion that you overlooked and all that good stuff, but try to take out as much as you can. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the bouillon that you saw me adding earlier. It all depends the amount of sodium you want in your beans. So I felt like it needed a little bit more, so I added a little bit more. You add to your liking. From there, I'm going to cook this for another 5 minutes on high heat, and then I'm going to turn it off. Those that has been watching my videos since forever knows that I do not like beans. I know I'm Puerto Rican and I'm not a big fan of beans. The beans that I do like is gandules, white beans, garbanzos, and those are really the only 3 beans I like. I don't like pink, I don't like pinto, I don't like black beans. Yes, I don't like none of those beans. I don't know why. I cannot understand why I don't like the other beans. But these beans are very, very delicious. Since the beans is done, rice is almost done, my pork chop stew is almost done, I'm going to start cutting my sweet plantains. I have considered making sweet plantains as a tutorial on my channel, but I don't know how people will feel about that. I don't know, I just feel like anybody can make sweet plantains because all you gotta do is really fry it, and it's just one fry. So I'm like, I don't know if I should make it, but you never know. Maybe somebody's looking for a recipe on how to make sweet plantains or plátano maduros. I don't know. You'd be surprised what people search up here on YouTube. Like, for real. That's what I was just telling my son's girlfriend the other day. I told her, listen, people even search up how to fry an egg. So, I mean, I don't know. It was just a thought in my head while I was editing this video. But anyway, we're going to take this to the stove and we're going to fry it. Back to the meat, my husband is going to squeeze the other half of the lemon that we reserved. You're going to want to do that towards at least the last 10 minutes that it's cooking. As you can see, the water is evaporating, but yeah, that's what he's doing because I was using the tripod for something else. And yeah. If anybody asks me where I got the lemon squeezer, I got that in the Dominican Republic. Just saying. So right here, I'm just going to cut my lettuce and some cabbage. I didn't do nothing special because I didn't have a lot of items to make like a very nice salad. I was just working with what I had that day. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to make a simple dressing, nothing fancy. I like to make this simple dressing because it's more healthier rather than you buying it in a store, and that's basically it. So what I'm going to use is some vinegar, extra virgin olive oil. I would suggest that instead of like corn oil and stuff like that. No, extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to add some pepper and salt. Mix this up very well. If you feel it tastes a little too vinegary, you add a little bit more oil, extra virgin olive oil of course, and taste it to see if maybe you gotta add a little bit more salt, and that's it. The last thing that you want to do when you're doing this dish is your plantains. Why? Because it only takes a few minutes. So I'm going to put my plantains in the oil. Now make sure you preheat the oil and make sure it's like on medium high more or less, because as you can see, as soon as I put the plantains in there, it wasn't really frying the way I wanted it to. But yeah, make sure it's preheating and you throw your plantains in there. Just keep an eye on it. The rice is already done, so I'm just moving it around. Here's a close-up of my beautiful rice. By the way, I like to cook with medium grain rice. I used to love long grain rice, but I've kind of switched it up. I don't know, I just like medium grain rice better. And yeah, that's basically it. And here is my delicious sweet plantains frying. Yum! I love sweet plantains. Give it a thumbs up if you love sweet plantains. And here they are, nice and done. And everything is already done. Here's my avocado, my little simple salad. It looks so plain, oh my goodness, so embarrassing, but this is real life. Sweet plantains, peas and carrots, white rice, my pork chop stew. I'm wetting my pork chops so it could be nice and juicy. Here is a pork chop. As you can see, it's so tender, it's like falling apart. Look at how juicy it looks. Oh my god, it was so tender. It was so good. You don't understand. You must make these pork chops just like this. And my white beans. Nice and thick, just the way I like it. And this is the final dish. Look at them pork chops. Nice and juicy, tender, flavorful. Oh, my goodness. Peas and carrots, white rice, nice and fluffy, sweet plantains. And in case anybody's wondering, my husband is Dominican, I'm Puerto Rican. I like to mention that because I always get a lot of subscribers. So, in case you're watching for the first time, avocado with tahini, lettuce, and I put the dressing on the top, white beans, and this is the final dish. A great combination of wonderful flavors right in your mouth. And that is it, you guys. If you're watching for the first time, please feel free to check out my playlist. I got a whole bunch of different videos. And if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe. And for all my old subscribers, thank you so much for being there for me all this time, watching my videos, thugging it out with me. You know how it is. And for my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing and being new on my channel. And I hope you continue to stay here with me while I keep making new content every week. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please be safe. Take care of yourself. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.